Okay, Rich, so what are we playing this week then?
So this week I thought we'd attempt to complete Pyjamarama for the ZX Spectrum. So this is an action adventure game, very early one, released in 1984, and this was to be quite an influential game here in Britain. So it sort of had a lot of influence on games like Dizzy, for example, the Dizzy series. Have you got any experience with the game at all?
No, none at all. No.
No? Do you want to get to it
Yeah,
then?
let's go for it.
So this is an action adventure game, like I was saying. So you're sort of exploring the environment, looking for items, and trying to use the items to open up new areas. Effectively, just sort of puzzle solving. Unfortunately, I don't think you're going to get a whole lot out of it because this is a game that you can't really pick up and play. Right, so the point of this game is you need to wake yourself up. So you're sort of dreaming at the moment and you're going to be late for work. So you need to wind your alarm clock.
Okay.
Right?
So what's that? Did I pick it up?
Yeah, so you got a door handle and you got the round key. To pick items up, you just sort of walk over them and it drops the one at the top and picks a new one up. Right. Sort of scrolls through.
Okay.
The jump button, the button is jump rather, and that's all you've got really. You just got to avoid things.
Right. Okay. So I'm gonna walk to the right.
I think you should go up the stairs personally. I think that would probably be a bit
Right.
careful. Oh,
shit,
that trashed you bad. Usually you can take a few hits. Yeah, just jump up the stairs. You're fairly safe on the red bit of the stairs. As long as you're not jumping whilst it's above you.
Jump each
you have
step?
to jump up the stairs.
You need to jump up the stairs. That's a joke.
You are actually shrunken as well. I don't know if you noticed, but you're
Shrunken.
you're much
There's
smaller
a
than
flying
usual.
axe, and I've now got a pot.
Just explore around and such. So you've got a change machine there. Walk forwards, keep going because the arrow's going to turn up. You got a towel from that.
Oh, good. I've got a towel. There's a person in there. Is that me?
Yeah, that's you there, and your alarm clock. You need to
so
fix.
I've got to wind that up.
Yeah, you need the handle for it, which is going to be the end of the game. Go to the door on the right there.
Right.
Let's show you this thing. Go to the video games door.
I just took damage. Why?
You always taking damage. Oh, careful. Press fire.
Really?
You don't need to be in here, by the way.
What do I get if I kill me?
If you destroy all 6 or 7 waves, you get an extra life, but
7 waves?
it takes ages, and you need to play it perfectly to be getting lives on there, otherwise you'll just keep losing them.
Is there anything else in this room I need to be in for?
No.
Okay. So now I've got the bucket.
It's empty, it says.
Oh, so I need to get some water somewhere.
Have you seen any taps around?
I can't remember.
Oh, there's health there.
Is that help?
Yeah.
Hey. Let's see if there's any taps around here.
That's the elevator. It's not been turned on yet.
Okay. Right, let's go this way. Money!
Jump. Oh, not into that though. Oh.
They're nasty.
Oh.
I'm so fucked.
Yeah. Game over. I told you. It's
It's all your fault.
calling you a dipstick.
You did. Gaffer's giving me the elbow.
It's something that you can't just pick up and play. You need to play it for ages. I mean, actually, to be fair, you could have started working out some puzzles already because
Well, I found coin. That's got to go up to change.
you
machine.
had been to a tap as well, so you could have filled the bucket with water, and you did know that you needed to fill it as well.
Yeah, because it said empty.
So you had walked past the tap. I don't know if you remember the bathroom, basically. So if you'd even played this a second time, you possibly could have worked out 2 of the puzzles. So something that opens up as it goes,
Go on, show us how it's done, Rich.
All right, let's go for it then.
What?
There's one of the keys there as well. Oh,
You just dropped it. That's why you had the key.
yeah, I don't need it at the moment. Get some health back. So obviously some of those doors can only be opened with the right keys. So you can kind of work that out as you go. Here's the lift button here.
Okay.
So you turn that on there. And from now on I can use the lift to sort of navigate the world.
Ah. What? You just
Yeah.
went through a barrel.
Yeah, that's sort of like it goes through to there. I don't know how that works. It's like a teleporter really, isn't it? Right, so this is the lift room here. So I can't remember which level I want to be on. I think it's 4. So obviously you change the Prick. That dude turns up randomly sometimes and punches you.
What?
He's a bit of a knob, really. The lift's quite interesting, really, isn't it? The way
Mm.
you can sort of navigate the levels quickly with it. And you do require it as well to get to the attic. So this is the change machine here. So you can get change. So now I've got a penny instead of, instead of the pound.
Why would you
So
want
it
a
just
pound instead
Screwed
of
me over in some respects. Right, that's the tap there. You see the water bucket says full now.
Yeah, I see it. To be honest, I was just noticing the darts flying through.
Yeah.
Why haven't you turned the help on yet?
The help, basically, it puts a box somewhere, but it runs out.
Ah.
So if I put the help on now, by the time I'll actually need it, it'll have gone again. Right, now the penny allows you to go to the bathroom.
Spend a penny.
Yes.
I get it. I think it does directly translates the fact that back in London in the 18th century that you had to use to spend a penny
Yeah.
to actually use the bathroom.
Yeah, I think that is what it is.
Now it's 50p, especially if you're in the train stations.
Now these things usually kill you.
But
Oh shit, I fell
You
down a
dropped.
hole. That's the sort of thing we don't want to see. Because
Oh,
it means
God.
that I'm going to run out of health trying to walk around the bleeding stage. Let's just get rid of those. Right, so the water bucket just stays there now. And they're not a danger for good, basically. So we've got the fuel can and the hammer was here, wasn't it? The other way to the roof.
Yep. Now,
Right, we got fuel.
what do you need to feel for? The rocket down at the basement?
Yep, you got it.
Was
And
it
as long as
basement?
this still
Well,
works.
it's free. It was room
It
free.
was
wasn't
free,
it?
yeah. Actually, this is one of the coolest parts of the game, I think, for the sort of era that it is. You actually just sort of shoot off in the rocket and go to the moon, basically. It's kind of a cool little thing.
Yeah.
But this is close to the end of the game, this bit, but I've got to go back, unfortunately, because I can't hold enough items. See, the laser gun stops the Space Invaders, basically. So they're at the bottom of the screen if you don't have the gun there.
Oh.
So I have to go back to Earth again now. Okay, God, what do I have to do next?
So you've got the moon crystal now. What does the moon crystal
No,
do?
I don't need that. That's a red herring. What I need. Right, Jesus Christ. I need the magnet, and to get the magnet, I need the box key, and to get the box key, I need the scissors to cut the balloon. To get the scissors,
The scissors were on the desk in a room that was along towards the lift room. Must admit, I do like this genre of game. The
yeah.
finding items, moving around to get other things unlocked. I think it's a good genre.
This is one of the earliest that actually that sort of resembles the modern day ones as well. Obviously, in modern day ones, you're not so much doing puzzles as you're sort of upgrading your character to open up new areas. You know? Right, we've got a full fuel can now. And another interesting thing about this game actually is that one of the first projects that Dave Perry from Shiny actually worked on was porting this game to the Amstrad. So that was sort of one of the first major things he did. Obviously, he ended up making games like Earthworm Jim and such as well, and MDK.
MDK, yeah.
So you need these two items here. The crash helmet stops these books from killing you. I think they're supposed to represent falling books.
Yeah.
And this is the library, so
Yeah.
they don't let you take the scissors unless you put their book back, basically. I'm
Fair
not
dues.
entirely sure about that puzzle either. But
Well, that's fair enough, isn't it? I mean, you've taken something of theirs, they want it back, they'll trade it for it.
they sort of half make sense.
On the whole, they make sense.
And actually, one of the main things that sort of saves this type of game as well is all you need to be doing is holding the item in the correct place. So in reality, you could be walking along, jumping, and then you could accidentally use the item and solve the puzzle as well. So that sort of makes it a little bit more easy going. Oh shit!
What?
I didn't put the help thing on, did I?
Oh, now you need the help thing. And you dropped. There it is.
Right. Yeah. So this creates the box to stand on.
Okay, but you need to be quick, yeah?
Reasonably, you got time. We got time to do it.
Then you use the balloon. And there's the tea box.
No, I don't want to be teleported from there.
Or...
Okay,
Yep,
that's sort of-
nice.
That's all we needed. Box key, fuel can.
Yeah.
Right.
Now you go and get the magnet with the box key.
Yep. And then we shoot off.
Oh.
Right, back off to space in our rocket.
Whoosh.
Come on. bit slowed, although it could just be because we're in space.
I'm pretty sure it's because we're in space, mate. I don't think it's slow down. I don't think this game could possibly ever have slow down.
Right, the magnet gets rid of the magnetic lock.
And that's the key. And you fucked it. Good job, Rich. There you go. You got the clock key.
And we got the fuel can, so we need to get home.
Oh, you need the fuel can to get home, do you?
Yeah. We've nearly done it.
You got a half full
We took
glass.
a lot of detours along the way. Don't punch me. Come on.
Yeah.
Sorted. We done it.
Hey. Hey, that's nice.
Little fireworks.
Congratulations, Wally's woken up. For the first time in his life, it will be early for work. Now watch out for Life of Wally.
Yeah. I think they ended up calling it something else, Life of Wally.
Ah.
I think it's Everyone's a Wally. That one's really confusing from what I've played of it. But after Everyone's a Wally, Dave Perry actually made the games as well. So he wasn't, because at this stage he was just porting these games to Amstrad. But eventually he took over as the main developer and designer of the games. I believe it's the 5th game is one of the highest rated games on Spectrum and Amstrad and such. So he did a really good job on that. That's one of the ones he made.
Excellent. Okay, Rich, so what do you think of the game then?
I think this is quite a clever game, actually. I don't think it quite gets the credit it deserves in a lot of ways, because this is really sort of a precursor to the sort of Metroid type games or the later Castlevania games in some respects, I think. The way that you have this huge environment to explore, but a lot of it's closed up and you have to sort of solve puzzles to open up your environment, and slowly the place gets bigger and bigger, and then you jet off into space to the moon. I think that's a really nice touch, with this game, and it's something you don't commonly see at this sort of time during this time period. I mean, these types of gameplay elements existed, but not so much in action games, because obviously this is sort of a platformer, isn't it? You sort of dodge the enemies that are bouncing around. You do simple platforming jumps, and like I said, it was a big influence here, especially here in Britain. I don't know if you see the similarities between this and Dizzy, for example, because you have played Dizzy. That game
definite similarities, absolutely.
And also sort of things like the Magic Knight series, which you're not
really
familiar with
at all.
But loads of games like that. Obviously, the sound's pretty much non-existent.
It's a Spectrum game. What do you want?
It's sort of a decent tune at the beginning, and actually, this originally had a different tune at the beginning as well on the starting screen. It actually just had a rendition of like a song that was popular at the time, and they were sort of given a cease and desist. So later versions of the game have this new song, this original song in there. Art design wise, it doesn't look that nice, does it?
No, it's not too bad. I mean, it's very descriptive, isn't it? You know where you are.
Yeah, that's true.
Each room is quite significant in itself. So
obviously, this is '84, so Impossible Mission was out this year, and the graphics on that. But I will point out though that Impossible Mission's level design was mainly just a bunch of columns of rooms, wasn't it? And a lift that goes up and down. Whereas this feels more like an actual environment that's like a big house where you can go from room to room. It's not like it's just loads of sort of regimented rooms in lines, if you see what I mean. So in some respects, this is that makes this more closer to modern games in this genre than Impossible Mission, even in some ways. But the thing with Impossible Mission is it's got so many sort of interesting ideas going on in it, isn't it? It's a very unique game. So what did you think about the game then?
I really enjoyed it, actually. I enjoyed watching it more than playing it, because I don't get on with the controller. We all know this. I hate that controller. But I enjoyed sitting here and going through it with you and working things out. I enjoy that kind of genre. I really do. I think it's a good genre. It's time consuming, but it's very satisfactory when you get things right. Gameplay was good fun. It made sense, which in places, which was nice. I mean, as we've said before, in some of these games, you don't know what you're doing because it just doesn't make sense at all, does it?
Yeah.
Some of the other searchy action-adventure games.
In fact, quite a few of them will literally just have a patch in the background where you can walk through the wall, you know, in one area in the whole map, and you can just wander past it over and over and over. That's not really even a puzzle, is it?
No.
Oh, there's a secret door there that you can't see.
That's not. You're not solving anything. You're just stumbling upon something.
But like I said before, I did this game. I made sure I didn't use any FAQs because I like to be able to say this game is completable without cheating. It makes enough sense, you know.
There isn't really much more to say, apart from the fact that I actually completely enjoyed the game.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't play it that much. I just enjoyed watching it. I enjoyed its whole premise.
Yeah. I think this is a game that you need to sort of draw your own map for to an extent as well.
Which is fun in itself anyway. You know?
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
A lot of people, when they go back to these old games, they don't realise how much people were actually drawing their own maps. So they sort of play it and they get confused and like, how am I supposed to get anywhere with this? But this era of games, you really need to draw a map and note down what all the items are that you find, because you're going to forget what's what. You know,
but that kind of does lend itself to replayability, doesn't it? Because then it gives you longer to play the game because you're not going to solve it on your first or second or third try.
I don't think we mentioned this before, but at the end of the game, it tallies up how many footsteps you took as well. So obviously, if you're doing two puzzles simultaneously and taking the fastest route, you can have the fewest footsteps. So
and you can aim for the fewest footsteps.
You can aim for that as well.
Yeah. So what are you going to score it then, Rich?
Well, this is kind of a hard game for me to review because obviously this is 84, and like we have played Impossible Mission, and that's more of an all-rounder than this game, isn't it? That's an all-round experience.
Game.
You know, and on top of that, you've got games like Elite on the BBC Micro, and you've got even Lords of Midnight on the Spectrum. It sort of feels like more of a complete package than this. But on the other side, you know, maybe this doesn't have the best graphics or art design in comparison to its competition for the time, but it feels like this game has a lot of influence. It feels much fairer than a lot of other action adventure games, considerably fairer, easier to pick up. So with that in mind, I'm going to give the game a 4 out of 5, but a very high 4 out of 5, I think, because I just don't feel like it's as complete a package as some of its competition, basically. What do you reckon then?
Well, I respect the fact that you do like to give an all-round rating based on everything that's around it and such like that, but I'm just going to base it on how the game played and how it made me feel and how much I enjoyed it, and for that I'm going to give it a 5.
Yeah, because
I really enjoyed it. I know a lot of stuff came out around its time that was better than it or had better graphic design or better sound or whatever, but I sat here. I'm by the way, I'm having a nasty toothache at the moment, but I wasn't thinking about that. I was enjoying watching this, and it took my mind off my nasty toothache, and so that's got to be a good sign.
Yeah, it's a game that has some level of charm, I think, actually, in some respects. Even though the graphics are a bit makeshift, you know,
but
it
it's
does have
nice
charm.
with the different things and like the quirky, like spaceship in the middle of your room and the story, chickens following you. It's quirky, it's fun.
The story itself as well, you know, you've got this sort of guy that needs to get to work, you need to wake him up.
And if you don't do it, as you saw earlier, you get called all sorts, which is good fun. It's a laugh, you know.
They call you a dipstick or something.
You call me a dipstick. I've never been called a dipstick by a computer game before. So no, great game for me, 5 out of 5. Okay, guys, that's Pyjamarama for this week. Great little game.
Yeah, I think it's a classic game, actually. It is awesome.
Really enjoyable, and my toothache proves it so. Anyway, guys, if you thought it was a great game, give us a like, give us a comment, tell us what you think, and subscribe to the channel because it always helps us, and we're always releasing great new content like this. So we'll see you next week with another game, guys. Take care.
See ya.